Hello everybody, so exciting. We got Pardis. So she is joining me from a private page because for anyone that doesn't know, her incredible Instagram page actually is no longer available, but she is here. So this should add her in. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. I think I've done it. Let me see if I've done it. Yay! Exciting.
Hi! Okay, it worked.
Yay!
Can you see me? Okay, I need to back
I love
up.
the yellow in the background.
Thank you.
The yellow in my top. So it's all
I love it.
Yay! How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Yeah, I've been getting so many downloads of things to say in this live. I'm like, whoa.
Good.
I've actually, like, here, I have notes.
I know. I have my little clipboard ready with stuff with a weekly message and then notes. I'm going to push my camera back just a little bit. Sorry. Okay. I hope you could see me okay. Can you see? So some people hi. Some people ask me like how to get rid of the comment flow, but I don't know live, so I don't know if they can.
I don't think we can, other than you making make it so that we can see like more of your body as well as your face.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So I'll move back a bit, but I mean, my body's not important. The messages, so hopefully they'll just.
It just means that your body will have the notes on it and your face won't. That's it.
I tried. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I think that's the best
awesome.
I'm going to be able to get. I think we're good.
Okay.
My angels just said, not a moment to lose.
I know. I'm ready, girl. When you're ready, let me know the weekly message or what you're ready for.
Yeah, let's go straight in with the weekly message because that will give me a chance to get my mind together on everything they're trying to get me to deliver as well.
So whoever's on, hi guys, I'm Pardis. If you've been following me, you know I used to do the daily message, but now for our series, we're going to do a weekly. So I pull cards, what you guys should focus on this coming week, so Monday through the week. So the message came through that a lot of you guys are in worry mode, like stressed worry mode. So the root chakra came out. So it's around your home, finances, career, your foundation. So what Spirit is asking you to do is to clear and cleanse that energy. So that means they want you to do it daily because right now that worry mode is really intense. And for those of you who've cleared worry mode out a bit, but it's coming back, Spirit wants you to remember worry mode got you to the position you're currently in or the positions you didn't want to be in before. So they're saying, remember where you were. You're trying to get yourself out of that and shift to a new direction. So they're really asking you to use a new technique because what we maybe grew up with and used before didn't work for us. So they want you to shift from negative thinking to positive thinking. So anytime that worry creeps up of, I can't do this, I don't have the money, I can't leave this job, I can't leave this relationship, whatever it is, they want you to be your own best friend right now and talk to yourself using positive words. And again, faith is the opposite of fear. So if you're in fear, worry mode, you don't have faith in yourself, your connection or any of that, so there's only room in your house for one. So really try to shift into faith and positive mode. And the last bit was that they're saying research is needed right now. So again, if you're in panic, worry mode, what to do next, they're saying research it so you have a little bit more confidence in it. That means reading books, studying, seeking a teacher to help conquer your worry and fear, or like YouTube videos. Any free resources if you're worried about finances, there's so many. But shift out of worry mode, you guys, into positive faith mode.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I think that also if you're in the peak of worry mode right now, frankincense and salt baths, even every day or every other day, are going to help. I did put a video up where I said that I was needing them every other day. That period, I'm happy to say, has stopped. It stopped a week ago. I did say on the video that I did feel like it was going to end soon. Now, that doesn't mean it's ended for everybody yet. I may be in a slightly different cycle from you, but understand that if you're feeling you need it, then use it until one day you're like, I need a bath for 3D reasons, like I need to wash my hair, but you're actually feeling okay and you don't feel like you need to wash any yucky entities off you. So then you're like, oh, okay, that time has passed. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's really good. I think that was an excellent message, because I do think that we've all been under quite a bit of attack from like yucky energies from Christmas and from January. And it was something they wanted me to address as well, because something they wanted me to address was that, it sounds a bit strange, Pardis, but they want me to do it. And that is that with me being personally a high vibration being, and I know that everybody watching in their own life is a high vibration being, they're saying that you guys will have gone through your own equivalent of some things that I've been experiencing, and they want me to share it. And this is that basically when you're the most high vibration person amongst your peers or your circle, what can happen is you can, I was experiencing about 20% resentment out of 100, you know, but it's actually gone up to 30 now. And the reason is because I've gone 10% higher in vibration. As of the Christmas Eve fast that I did, where I quit alcohol, and still am on it, my vibration has gone beyond to another level. And it means that people who previously vibrated with me or felt alignment with me, they're actually not feeling alignment with me now. And so the way that it's shown is that they actually display resentment, they show impatience, they show insecurity, whether it's doubting or whatever it is. There's insecurities and things like that. So I want you all to be aware that as you rise, there will be people who once you felt a real affinity with, who actually kind of turn against you. And what I'm being told is for me to embody the level of love that I embody mentally, physically, spiritually, in my work, in my home, everything like that. While we live in 3D, it's not possible for me to have more than a 70% love rate. You know, 70% of women love me. Pardis loves me. I love Pardis. I love all of you. But just understand, and this goes for anyone who maybe was even in the community who isn't feeling the vibration of what we're doing. They may well have had an extraordinary worry mode kick in over Christmas and New Year, and it's brought their vibration down so significantly that they've started repeating old childhood wounds and old patterns and cycles. And those patterns and cycles, or going back to an ex, or going back to the husband, or doing this or doing that, that's lowered their vibration. And then suddenly they find themselves in a place where they resent you. And there's no actual explanation. You've done nothing wrong. So just be aware of that, guys, okay? There is no way of having everybody just love you right now. I wish it was possible, but not right now.
And I love that, because it's one of the things I want to cover. So, and I want your input on it. What I want to introduce, kind of what Amelia said, you guys. So when I started, I met my twin flame, I started my spiritual journey, I didn't know what the heck was going on. What spirit came in and was like, you need to have a namaste mode. And I was like, what the hell is that? Because I don't do yoga. I didn't know spirituality. I'm like, I don't even know what the word namaste means. But literally, they're like, you need to take a 3-month namaste. And this was, you guys, the fall of 2017, where we're going into holiday season. It was, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, to your point. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? So namaste mode for me at that time, and Amelia, I want to share what yours is. What they were telling me at then was to basically kind of go off the grid, kind of like what I'm kind of doing now. And what that does for you is, one, you get the opportunity to know like your own energy, your own desires, your own needs. But again, when you share that with your friends and family, you're saying, I'm kind of just doing me right now. You can invite me to events, but I just may say no, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just taking care of me right now. But what that did for me, that first namaste mode, that 3 months, it was so refreshing, because I was going to events maybe just to go or this and that. I wasn't hearing my intuition and what my next step was and what to clear out. So I would highly recommend you guys, and I would detach from like TV a little bit, media, social media. Like my friends know, namaste mode means like no calls, no text messages. Back then I allowed it because it was new to me. Back then I was like, you can invite me, I just may say no. Or I may let you know day of, like literally the day of, if I'm coming. Like this was no to weddings, no to family engagements, no to trips, like it was off the grid. Because that period of time, you guys, that 3 months, that's what led me to changing my career, changing my city. It moved me closer to my twin flame without me realizing it. So really, if you can even grant yourself 1 week, 1 day, just be off the grid, And just know, if you're sitting there going like, well, I can't do that. I live with this many people. I have children. I have that. Your namaste mode can be maybe 1 hour in the morning and maybe 1 hour in the evening. So there's ways to do it. So don't let excuses come up and say, well, so many people rely on me. I would do it at my job. Like I would eat, when I was at my corporate job still, I would eat lunch at my desk and then go take 30 minutes to an hour walk outside. And when coworkers want to come with me, I would say, no, I'm just going to clear my head and energy. So know that it's possible. When you say no or start listing excuses, call one of us because we'll talk you out of it.
Yes, exactly.
Go ahead.
And this is the thing, you know, it's very interesting. We're in such an interesting phase right now. There's so many people that are, you know, getting on the journey and doing their healing and focusing in. There's still some people trying to focus out and tell other people what they need to do, when in fact just the act of doing that can sometimes mean they themselves still have quite a bit of healing to do. So what I would say is, I'm just doing the sage here as well. I've just told you to do a little bit of sage. That we all need to do what's right for us. I mean, I had a namaste for my business between September and February of not last year, the year before, so 2018. I didn't leave the house unless I was buying groceries, and I left my house 5 times between September and February because I was working 18-hour days on doing some studying that I needed to do for my business. And I literally, you know, like I remember for my birthday, I went for Indian food, was home within an hour. New Year's Eve, went to a girlfriend's house for 2 hours. Thanksgiving, went to a friend's house for 3 hours. Like these were like the only occasions in that huge amount of time. But that's how focused we have to be sometimes. What my angel said when you were speaking was that the namaste is the ultimate act of self-love. It's just saying, I'm more important, I'm worth it, I'm more important. And it is a bit of a, you know how much my angels like to swear, but it is a bit of a accept it or fuck off. This is what I'm doing. It's not, I'm not asking permission. I'm not negotiating. And when you have friends that negotiate and try and make it a negotiation, that's actually a sign for you to recognize and realize, you know, that you're more what they need, as opposed to, it's not what they can give to you, it's what they need to take from you, what they need to get from you. And they're annoyed they're not getting it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, to your point, it was the fastest way for me, because again, back then I didn't know a lot. It was the fastest way for me to see who I resonate with or don't, to Amelia's point. And like there were family members and friends who maybe didn't understand that and either took it personally or they wanted to still hang out and this and that. And again, I was just doing me. So to your point, you can kind of see who resonates with you on where you're at and where you're going. It's the fastest way to clear that out as well. And not in a bad way, you guys, like Amelia knows this, they're not bad people, they're not bad this, it's just how they're wired. And it just means, I always see it as train tracks, like you're on a train track going down track A, they're going down track B. So it's letting each other do that. And if they're meant to be on your journey, your tracks will intertwine again. If they're not, your tracks are going in 2 opposite directions. And that's okay, because you're making room for your twin flame. You're making room for new soul friends that you've been maybe wanting, or your business. So it's okay.
Yes, exactly. And it's interesting because I know that during the Christmas period, and when there was a lot of that worry and weird energy, for myself particularly, I was being guided to go back to being friends with a girl that I hadn't been friends with, but it actually wasn't my higher self guiding me, and I was able to realize that it wasn't. But then just the other day I reconnected with a girlfriend, and that time it was positive, and I'm also able to teach her and help her, but it doesn't feel like a drain. And I think that's where we all just have to become aware, you know, of what's a drain. But what they're saying is, please understand, as you continue to shoot up, because that's what they're saying right now, if you're determined to shoot up, you will shoot up. This isn't like the gradual sitting under the tree in the 1980s. Absolutely. This is 3 months. You are moving, woo, like this.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, those
go ahead.
Right now might not be right in 3 months. And if you suddenly end up coming across some resentment and things like that, it doesn't mean you need to change your behavior. It just means that you have vibrated out of their sphere of ability to understand you.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that too, because in the beginning of my journey, and sometimes maybe even here and there, to Amelia's point, like if the biggest thing is you may feel guilty or selfish or obligated to do things, or they may tell you you're crazy for doing that. Like you may have worries of like, am I going crazy? Like work through those, because you're not. It's just your own fears and insecurities coming up to clear. And what I always tell my clients when someone's telling you you're being selfish for pulling back, you're being this and that, it's what Amelia said. You're not being selfish. They're just saying you're no longer there for me. So in a sense, that's the selfish definition we're used to. But they're saying you're not meeting my needs. And again, you're not here on this planet to serve people in that way or to make them happy or to meet their needs. They have to learn how to do that for themselves. So when you're pulling back your energy, their fear mode goes like crazy, like sparks, because they're like, oh no, my source of happiness, my source of this, which is outside of them, which is you, is being pulled away from me. It's like a drug addict. The needle's being pulled out, you know? So they're going to call you all of it. Yeah. But you're doing them a favor because they have to learn to rely on themselves, their insides, to make them happy, to feel whole, to feel fulfilled, versus you showing up to do that for them. And they may have been used to your light for a long time. So have that peace within and love and forgiveness eventually. If you're not ready for it right now, that's okay, but you'll get there. Have also that forgiveness for yourself, that like you were in that role for so long. So it's a lot of self-healing, self-love, and self-forgiveness.
Yeah, the main message they've been telling me to give those for the girls that are really shooting up, you are going to come across a little bit of negativity from people that you're kind of surprised that it's happened, because they could actually be spiritual people. They could be girls, you know, divine feminines. They could be girls that have been on the journey with you, and then suddenly they're kind of being resentful or attacking and things like that. And just understand that it's not because you've done anything wrong. It's actually because you vibrated out of the old zone, and they have dropped below to their old zone, and now there's just too much of a gap. My angels keep saying 6, 6. They keep saying the number 6. I nearly said it 3 times, but I didn't. But yeah, basically they're saying 6 because it's almost like that's what the gap's become. Is the gap has become 6. So let's imagine, you know, with me, if I'm 10 and I've moved to 11, then 6 back from that would be what, 4. So a woman that was previously a 7, and there was me at 10 and we were good, now she's dropped down, and the gap is just, there's a gap of 6 or more. And once the gap is 6 or more, they can't help but not be able to stand you. It's just how it works, you know. But
and I want to touch on what you said, the lighting up. So that's part of this weekly message to you guys. What's happening right now in the collective as we've entered into March, we're coming out of hibernation mode. So wherever you are in the world, just pretend it was winter. You're coming out of winter hibernation mode, and right now the energy is, to Amelia's point, like lit up, because you're wanting change in your life. You're wanting to be with your twin flame. You want to increase your business or flow, whatever it is. So what's happening right now is Spirit's coming in and saying, you need to start studying. You need to start pursuing this. You need to start doing this, this, and this, because we're answering and guiding you, answering your wishes. So again, that's why it's so important to have that like namaste moment to kind of get clear with, where is Spirit guiding me? So if you're being guided to, let's say, move, if you're being guided to change jobs or leave a current home situation or relationship, you got to listen to that, because they're trying to move you forward in this, you know, train track A. But if you keep holding on to the old, what was comfortable, staying stuck, then you're going to kind of remain stuck. But just know right now, the energies of March is getting shit going. This means in your house, your home, your career, finances, because that's what opens up your connection with your twin flame.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've just been shown that, imagine there's track A, B, and C. Imagine if A is getting you to the really highest feeling, and some people are staying on B, but that's not actually, but what's most predominant is girls who are either going to A or they're going to C. So there's not many girls staying on B at the minute. A lot of them are either going up and on and really progressing, and then others are regressing. And whereas in the past, it was often everyone was at B and most people were trying to get over to A, it's actually switched to being A and C now.
Yeah.
And then the last thing they want me to say with regards to these people, because they're really concerned about the really angelic, lovely, kind women feeling like their friends are attacking them. They've said the way to identify the ones that are suffering from the low vibration sickness is a lack of gratitude. They will have a lack of gratitude for anything you do or have done for them, and they will have a lack of gratitude in their own life for their own people that are in their life and the other gifts that they have. So a lack of gratitude will give you, you'll be like, oh, that's a lack of gratitude. Oh, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I'm okay. And that's what you need. When you can sense that lack of gratitude, it just means something yucky has got hold of them, and just, you got to leave them be. And it's what it is. No. Let them regress.
It's true. And I same thing. I say, what is it? I like release them with love and just like move on, bless them away instead of resisting them, fighting it, feeding into it. So I just like literally, to her point, I'm like, I'm good. I'm at my peace. And then I just bless and love it away because I know like my journey is taking me this direction. And then what I wanted to also touch on, what we were kind of talking about with the train tracks and ideas and intuition guiding you. You guys, a lot of clients will ask, or even followers used to ask like, oh, I wish my connection with my angels or my intuition was that strong. So I used to think that when I woke up to the journey, I didn't even know what intuition meant, what I told you guys. What it is really, you guys, you may not understand that you're actually getting guidance. You may not be calling it that. So think of it as ideas. Like if all of a sudden an idea pops in your head, like, oh, I should go to Target and buy this, or oh,
sorry, I have to interrupt. My angels,
go ahead, yeah.
My angels just want me to clap.
But that's the idea. There you go. That's your angels. So if you're like feeling lonely, like I can't hear my guides, I can't connect, you are. It's just those ideas may not look and sound the way, or you're maybe thinking you thought of that great idea. You didn't, but you probably did, but it's co-creating with spirit. So the most important thing,
yeah, go ahead. That comes down to just silencing the mind, though, by doing the work to starve the ego and quieten it down naturally. Like one of my clients, she graduated maybe 2 months ago, and she's coming into my inner circle. Very bright girl, beautiful, beautiful girl. I don't know if she's on. I'm not sure if I've seen her on here. Oh no, she's on. She's on. Yeah. She's on. And she was saying, you know, I've basically become really, really like clairvoyant, and I suddenly can read tarot cards. And I just said to her, I said, well, you know, I did tell you that was one of the side effects of doing the program because your ego has gone quiet, so you can hear your higher self, which means you're naturally now able to hear your guidance really clearly, you know? And,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
That was it.
Oh, so, and then hearing the guidance is super important, or getting to that point, or realizing, oh, idea. The biggest piece I want to add is you have to act on it, because the more you act on it, like think of those video games maybe when we were growing up, like Mario Brothers, Nintendo, or Zelda. Like anytime they jumped up and grabbed, like, let's say a mushroom and they got points, that's what it is. Like when you're acting on these ideas, Spirit's like, oh, she or he is listening, let me send her more guidance. So the more you're like, I won't do that, or I won't do that, you're going to slow down your journey. They're still going to send you signs and synchronicities and guidance, but you're kind of slowing down your journey. So if you're like, I want shit to change, I want shit to move, you got to act on those ideas. So
they've just agreed to the point where they just said, first, they said grease the wheels. Greasing the wheels is acting on it. And the second thing is they liked your Mario Brothers, that you just talked about Mario Brothers, or Sonic the Hedgehog, or whatever's our generation.
Same thing,
you know when they eat a magic mushroom and it makes them suddenly like faster and they can move faster and jump higher and stuff? That's what happens when you listen. And so
absolutely.
The only thing that's different about me and the only thing that's different about Pardis is we've been listening and doing and following and obeying for so long that when we actually live in that boo, 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 with the glowing light around us, the fast Mario Brothers, like that's how we live because we obey. And here's the other thing. It's that also understanding that it's all about getting the ego quiet, because you need, as I say to everybody all the time in my program, you need two things. You need education, you need clearing. You need education about the ego and the higher self, so you will have the ability to identify between the two. But then you also need clearing, because we have to actively starve it and remove its food. If you just educate, it becomes cleverer. If you just starve it, then you don't know what you're doing, because you haven't had the education. You do need both. And doing both will increase. There's no way it cannot increase your inner guidance. It just is.
And it's also the fact, like, again, my friends or clients would ask me, like, oh, but if I do this stuff, I'm not focused on my twin flame. That is actually going to help you bring in your twin flame faster. So to Amelia's point, twin flames are set up for accelerated, fast healing. All the fear and ego is what slows us down. So again, what she said is on point. So if for me, what I mentioned, I think the last video, every time I listened to an idea or my intuition acted on it, not knowing I was doing it really, again, my twin flame would pop up out of nowhere. I'd hear from him or whatever it was. So the other thing I want to mention on that is just know that you guys will be guided. I always say it's like an iPhone upgrade, like, and to Amelia's point, it's like levels. I call it like versions. So when you met your twin flame, you may have been at version 1.0. So when you do your healing work or follow an intuitive idea, you'll get to version 2.0. So then your twin flame 2.0 shows up. And what I call, these are mini reunions sometimes. So don't panic or freak out if all of a sudden you're not like married and dating right away. There's going to be a few mini reunions every time you guys upgrade. And so make sure you allow their new energy to come in and don't treat them like maybe you did in the past. Like allow them that grace of like they've transformed and shifted their energy as well. So mini reunions are okay. Don't freak out if you meet up and then for some reason you end up physically separating for a little bit. It just means you guys are elevating levels or versions, like whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm just being told that as you upgrade, they upgrade, but they don't always look like they are the way you are, which refers to the stuff that I have on my notes there. There was something else. I don't know why. I'm just getting all this like interference today inside in terms of like I'm hearing things and then I think I might just have to need to write them down. But yeah, I mean, with regards to with your twin, I'm just trying to think. Maybe it'll come back to me. I'll start telling you the note stuff and then it might come back round. Because I have something that I want you guys all to do in a meditation. It's going to be a different kind of meditation. It's going to be longer, but it's going to be really good. And it's going to be kind of like the way I work with my clients on the phone. So I just want everyone to close their eyes, but I kind of want you to stay with me. Sounds funny. I want you to stay with me, but close your eyes. So what we're going to do is just like a really awake visualization when, you know, you don't need to lay down and all that sort of stuff. Just close your eyes. What I want you to do is I want you to think about your garden. Now, when I talk about your garden, what I actually mean is your life. So your life, your physical life, every aspect of your life, I want you to see it represented right now by a garden. Now, don't panic if the garden has some trash bags, if there's a wheelbarrow with the wheel missing. Don't worry if there's some tomatoes that haven't been watered in a long time. Don't worry. I just want you to take a really good look at this garden. I want you to do a recce of this garden. I want you to walk around and just have a look what your garden looks like. Now, what I want you to do once you've walked around the garden and you've been honest with yourself and you've looked at what's in that garden, I want you then to, in your garden, sit down with a notepad and start drawing out how you want the garden to look. What do you want it to look like that's different? And I want you to start making plans for it. And everyone's garden is going to be in different states. Some girls are going to have a really nice lawn. It's going to actually be really nice and they've actually just got some like, you know, mud that's ready for the flowers to go in. Other girls have just got big piles of sand and random things, you know. So everyone's garden is going to be different. But I want you to understand that it's your garden and it's your job to fix it, and absolutely nobody else can fix it. But just know this, by meeting your twin, it activated you to actually be in your garden to be able to fix it. Not everybody else has that ability. So be very, very glad that meeting him or sensing him or whatever your relationship is with them, that has enabled you the ability to be here in this garden. So be in your garden now, and I want you to actually just start planning out a checklist of jobs that need to get done in there. And like I said, have a really clear plan of what you want the end garden to look like. Now, I'm going to say something that may be quite shocking to a few of you, and that is that really and truly, is your garden ready? Is your garden in the perfect state right now where you want to welcome your twin into it? Do you want to bring him in there and show him around? Or do you actually have quite a bit to do in there? And it's funny because as I say this, I was given it, and so I did the work myself. And what I realized was I actually had quite a nice garden with a nice painted fence and a nice lawn, but there was no flowers in the beds around the edges. And so in real life, I'm going shopping for flowers next weekend. I've ordered a hammock and a bistro yellow table and chair set. So I'm literally, personally, because of where I am in my journey, I am literally furnishing a garden. Now, other girls that have done the level of work I have may find themselves physically furnishing a garden, or maybe for Pardis, it's actually going and choosing a house with a garden, and which garden does she want, you know? So the garden word is actually more real than you think. We're coming into spring again in this hemisphere. Yeah. So it may well be that it's time to grow that herb garden. It's time to plant that rose bush. Actually, understand that in real life, whatever outdoor space you have, why not start to plan and nurture it? And at the same time, if that's not something you're ready for yet, which again, I needed to get my house together first before I could worry about the garden. And so I did do my house first, and now my garden is all there is left to do. So what I would suggest is have a look and be honest with yourself that if your garden is not really ready, you don't have the picnic table with the lovely sort of tablecloth and the pink lemonade with ice and sliced lemons and grapefruits sitting in the jug and everything ready for him to come in the way you want it to be, well, then you've got some work to do. Now, here's the part where this meditation gets interesting. He's over there in his garden right now. Why? Because you're in your garden, so he's in his. It's just how it is. So he's in his garden. And guess what? He knows you are the most amazing divine feminine on the planet, and that you were made for him, and that you were built for him, and that you exist in this world just for him, and that you are that amazing. Do you not think that's slightly scary for him? And that maybe he's sitting there looking at his garden, he's going, oh, fuck. My garden looks like a toxic, nuclear, reactive dump right now. And I really want to bring the most beautiful, oh, they're showing me the flower, the flower like this. You can open your eyes because again, we're doing a visual on this flower.
Is it, lotus?
Yes.
Or lily?
Yes.
Or what is that,
yeah,
lotus?
I think it's a lotus.
Yeah.
So imagine he is, it's okay, and you can close your eyes again. Like I said, we're doing a with me meditation. So for him, he's like, you are the most beautiful, delicate, incredible lotus flower on the planet. How can he bring it into the garden? So in his own way, right now, he is doing everything to get that garden together for you. So the same way you have concluded probably that you still have a little bit of work to do in your garden, even if it's just that you need to hang up some stringy fairy lights, you know, solar powered ones, but you have something that you need to do. For me, I need to do my online program. For me, I need to plant some plants literally in my garden. You know, we have things on our list that we need to do. You know, for you, it might be like starting a gym routine. It may be whatever it is for you. And I think you all know the things that you need to do, and that there's more than enough to keep you occupied in this journey. So understand that. Also, if you were able to peer over the fence at him in his garden and you just see him sitting there and the whole place looks like shit, and you're like, your garden looks like shit, and you're just sat there on your laptop, like, great. And here's me over here sweating and doing my best. Well, guess what? He might be on there doing a really special graphic design, planning it all out. So again, this is important because he is doing it his way. They are the opposite of us. They're the same as us, but they're the opposite. So the way and the technique we're using to fix our garden, theirs is going to be the opposite. So don't expect their fixing of the garden to look like how our fixing of the garden is. So this is the first thing that now you can gradually open your eyes and just remember what we've just seen. But understand that this is really a map of our gardens are a map of our lives and are a map of our divine union. And we do have to get our gardens together, guys, whatever that looks like, because so many of us are pretending to ourselves that our garden is ready, but it's not. Whether
yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you carry on.
It's similar to what I said, I think, on the last video. I don't remember if I said it, but like, again, 6 months after meeting my twin flame, not knowing about the journey, I was like, oh my God, I need to fix my life. Like, I was miserable with my career, my city, my relationship with friends and family the way it was then, my health. Like, I was like, I can't bring him into this. So even though I wanted to be with him more than anything, I was the one energetically kind of sending him away without realizing it. Sometimes I did it consciously. Like when he'd reach out, I'd be like, no, not right now, not right now. It's shit show right now, you know? So it's kind of like what you're saying. Just know that they're doing their process as well. They may be like, I don't want to bring her into this miserable life. It doesn't mean they're not thinking of you. It doesn't mean they don't feel for you. It doesn't mean they don't want a future with you. They're just saying not like this. Because I will 100% tell you, there have been many times on my journey where I was like, having my twin flame in my life right now is not going to make me happier. I was not fulfilled with my job, with my purpose then, or again, the state of my being. So adding my twin flame to that wasn't going to make it magically better. So that's why I knew I had to make it magically better. And when my twin flame came in, I was ready and fully available.
They've just given me a really funny analogy. So imagine all twin flame counterparts are astronauts, right? And imagine that we all have to go to NASA and do our astronaut training, basically, and then our divine unions are going to happen in space. Bear with me, guys. The angels have got this will make sense. They do. So basically, we're going to meet with our twin in space. We're all astronauts, but we all have to do our training. There's so many people trying to skip the training.
Yeah.
How are you going to survive in space? Space is where, like, we were born to be in this divine union and be these earth angels that are literally going to change the world physically, with our hands, with our mouths, with our brains. We are going to be the ones that change the world. But surely we need to do our training. Well, the training is what you do when you're on your own, because you've got to complete it, then get in the rocket, then go up there, and guess what? He's up there on a different spaceship, and then eventually you go meet up on some, like, what do you call it? Like a space city, whatever you call it. What are they called?
Space Center?
Yes. Like that's what you're going to see.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You're not going to get there if you haven't done the training to get in the rocket to go up there. So, and the rocket to go up there is exactly the same as the leveling up, going up the part that I talked about, how a lot of you are flying up right now, you know? And with people like myself that can literally help one-to-one somebody raise their vibration permanently. Like, there's a lot. Like, I mean, I'm graduating like many girls each week, you know? So there's a lot of people shooting up. Now, the most important message though for the twin flame journey that I have, which is quite a funny one, and I'll relate it to the garden to start with, and that is, let's imagine if you are able to relax in your garden and enjoy that garden so much that you forget that you were sorting it out for him. And you actually just enjoy it. And the way that my angels are also describing this is enjoying the journey. Yes. Not surviving it, not hoping for it to be over soon, but actually just enjoying the now. And here is the key point. If you can enjoy the journey now, for everything it's done for you, for everything you see and everything you do and how you earn your money and every aspect of your life, guess what? It's going to be over soon. Yeah. You'll be in union. It's true. Because you're not wishing it somewhere else anymore. You are present. You are happy. You are happy and grateful for every aspect of your life. You are peace. You are happiness. And because of that, going to be over soon, and the union will come. The union isn't going to come because you're chasing it. The union comes because you're actually happy in your garden, and that just sucks him in, and he walks in through the garden gate. And he's like, hello, And you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. Oh, okay. But guess what? I just happened to be wearing a nice bikini and I just made myself a great mocktail with passion fruit with a banana and stuff in it. And I'm just like chilling. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
That's how it's meant to be. He walks in and we're in there chilling.
Yeah.
He doesn't
You're
walk
detached.
Yeah, he doesn't walk in and we're panicking. He doesn't walk in and we're sweating and panicking and, oh my God, what am I going to do when he gets here? And he walks in, he's like, who are you talking to? You're like, No. He comes in and you're like this.
Please sit down and enjoy.
Yes.
Pull up a chair.
Yes.
So but I want, yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, carry on, John.
Oh, I just want to say what Amelia is talking about, the astronaut analogy she gave, and that shooting up. All that shooting up is like, sorry, my mind goes somewhere else. But all that is what she said. It's all you have to do is self-love and self-care. So what would boggle my mind on this journey is like, I talk to Spirit and be like, so all you're asking me to do is to enjoy my day, is to have fun, to love myself, like to meet my needs and not everyone else's, to be happy, and that's what attracts my twin flame in. What the fuck? And it's so interesting to me because a lot of people run from this journey because they're not used to loving themselves. They don't know how to. We didn't maybe grow up knowing how to. The people around us didn't do that. We don't know what maybe is our fun or how to enjoy life. But literally this journey is like, you want your twin flame, all you have to do is love yourself and be happy. That's it. Yeah. And I will tell you, every time I did that, and I was in that mode and slowing down and maybe namaste moding here and there, my twin flame got closer and closer and closer. And again, it's auto mode. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing they're saying though is, another thing that I would like everyone to do is to write a list of the things, the lifestyle and the things they'd like to do when they're with their twin. And this could be everything from, I want to own a tropical island with him, I want to do this, I want to do that. Write these things down. But here's the thing. You need to do all that fucking shit right now. And that's the reality. And so sit there and dream and enjoy, but then the reality will dawn that you are meant to do all of that right now. It's all part of you, and some of it you've been scared to do. My angels have also asked me, as usual, to be completely vulnerable and open and put myself out there for the world.
Out there.
Yes. So I'm going to open up about our conversation that we had. So Pardis offered to do a reading for me, and it was quite funny because obviously I am where I am. I'm as healed as I am, and she hears my angels, sees my angels, the whole shebang. It's all very transparent. And to start with, it was saying things like, you're very intuitive and you have a very strong divine purpose, and you are listening to your intuition. It was just all these things, and we both just laughing. We're like, yeah, this is not telling us anything other than like, yeah, we know, big ears. Like, you know,
like ding.
Yeah. But we did discover two things since me and Pardis have met. And the reason I'm being told to share these is because I'm being told that little bells are going to ring in all the girls' heads when I do this, and that's why. But they're also saying no one else would want to do what I'm doing, because I'm literally like trying to find any vulnerabilities I can share with the universe. Yeah. But there we go. So the first one was when me and Pardis were talking one day, we realized that we found a tiny block. And obviously, you know, for anyone to find a block in me, it's like not been possible, basically. It's not been possible. But what we found was that when in around 1999, I was dating a guy called Robert. He was a gorgeous guy from London, and he said to me, let's move to Miami and get married. I said, okay. So it wasn't the most romantic proposal, but hey, I was like, all right, cool. Anyway, and so that was the plan. And then suddenly I just got this really strong urge to break it off with him. And the only reason I could think of as why I was breaking it off with him is that previously I had dated quite a famous guy in California. And I was worried for some reason that if I moved to Miami with Robert, that I would somehow get in touch with this guy in California, and that then I'd leave Robert and break his heart. So it was like, well, if you're going to break his heart, you may as well do it now. Break his heart now. So I did. So that was the first thing. Then Pardis, everyone keeps telling me I'm to go to LA, I'm to go to LA. My angels have been harassing me. Pardis's angels are harassing me, la, 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 la. And I am going to go, and I will be there, and I just have a few things I need to tie up. But she said, there's actually something else. And we realized what it was. Because for the last 20 years, the same guy in California is someone who I'm still vaguely in touch with. You know, I've got his phone number, whatever, and I believe he's single or whatever, and I think I'm the one that got away for him anyway. That it's always been like, well, if I go to California, I'll probably end up dating him. And what I realized was that message was still there because it had been there for so damn long. If you go to California, hit up blah blah. We'll call, what should we call him? No, I won't give him a name. He's very well known. Anyway, it's not my twin. It's someone else. He's very close with Puff Daddy. Anyway, so so what happened was I realized that there was still a pattern playing in my head, a record that was, if you go to LA, you need to reach out to this guy whose name begins with D. And I'm like, I realized, I was like, that's not even valid anymore. Like me now, I've got no interest whatsoever in pursuing this man. I've just got no interest in him. I mean, I'm sure he's nice, but I've just got no interest. Yet that record still existed in my record collection. So all I had to do was pull the record out. Mentally, they got me to show it as a string with a bead on it. And I just clipped the string and then it was gone. Because it wasn't like it was like an old record that that there was a concern about going to LA because it would mean that I needed to date him and that if I go there, I necessarily should date him. So that was the first one. Second block, I know, she found two. She's fucking amazing. Book a reading with her. She's only doing readings this month and then she's not going to do them anymore. Second block, and this is a fun one, is we were talking during my official reading with her and she went, yeah, so you and your music. And I went, oh, what the fuck, music? I don't do music. I stopped the music industry years ago. I don't do music. What are you talking about? And suddenly I heard the tone of voice and I went, and my angel showed a big black rectangle coming down in front of me. I was like, oh, looks like we found a block. Then I left the music industry because it was toxic. Everybody's always trying to show off and be better than everybody else. And I was sick of it. I was done with it. I'd been guided to be in it and to this point, and then eventually they said, you can leave now. I was like, thank God. Anyway, so when she mentioned music, I literally clammed up like, whoa. Yeah. And then it was like, well, I'm not saying I'm going back to where I was. I'm not trying to be a celebrity superstar rapper, but I mean, I do have some really good knowledge now. And if I did put like a song out called How to Be Happy, I could actually include exactly how a human being can become happy because I'm one of the few on earth that knows exactly how to do it. So it was more just, again, just this beginning tentative idea of being able to entertain it. Because here's the joke, guys. I already knew that once me and my twin were together that me and him would probably mess around in the studio because why wouldn't we? Because we're both rappers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, I have to eat my own medicine, which is, I know me and him would mess around with music. So even though he's retired now too, but we would mess around with music. So guess what? I have to mess around with music now.
Yes.
So if I can find these little blocks, okay, mine aren't big ones. Yeah. But the reality is that that's why I know you guys will still have some and you need to find them. And Alicia's very good at finding them through a coaching perspective, through the forgiveness work, and she's amazing at that. Obviously, Pardis can do it with you through a reading. But the difference is, obviously, Pardis can point a finger at it, whereas, obviously, because of who I am, I'm able to, like, break it myself, because I'm a block breaker. That's my profession. I break blocks. I break the blocks that hold humanity up. Whereas, you know, so that's the difference. So, you know, Pardis can definitely help with that. But if you have blocks that are the same size as mine or any bigger, you probably do need to have a coach help you with that. Just being honest. If you want your garden ready by the summer, you know? The twinning season is coming. Because we have to.
And to Amelia's point, you guys may get guidance similar to that, where something may come up and you're like, no, resisting it for some reason. But that resisting, I mean, I will let you know, my hairstylist, I was guided to her. I won't call her out here, but everyone I'm guided to is a twin flame. So, of course, my hairstylist was a twin flame. And she had interesting enough, she had a music block too, but her music was, and I'm not naming names, but her music was tied to someone close to her who passed away, who she used to write with. So she almost shut down from writing music because of that. And we kind of brought that up as she's doing my hair. So do you know what I mean? So you may be tying music to something your old self like feels or whatever it is, but to Amelia's point, get someone to help you to clear that emotional block so that you can enjoy that passion again in a different format. Possibly you're a new person, you're a different person, you're entering the world in a different way, you know. For me, Amelia knows I'm not a fan of the
I have to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Randomly, the guy that owns the studio that I'm the voice of, the Billboard Hitmakers, he just sent me a purple love heart today as well, which was weird because I literally have been starting to, the wheels have literally started to really slowly turn. I was in the bathroom earlier and I came up with like a couple of bars and I was like, oh shit, oh no, like, oh no.
See, it's like oh my God. But this is tied to, you guys, the leap of faith we were talking about. Yesterday was it yesterday? No, sorry, Saturday was leap year. I don't even know what day it is, but Saturday was leap year, and one of the girls was asking, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's what Amelia said in the last video too. It's about doing things differently, facing your fears, whereas your old self may have sat and just been like, nope, don't want to approach that. Nope, I don't want to think about that. It's conquering your shit right now because shit's getting real. And again, if you're sitting there asking the universe, I want to be with my twin flame in union, they're sending you all these ideas or helping you clear your blocks so that you can be closer. So it's never taking you away from your twin flame. It's actually bringing you guys closer.
I was just shown that something you said a minute ago as well was it is really important to go back to and revisit, and that is that he's working on his shit too. So
Absolutely.
If you were obsessed with any of his old shit, it doesn't even belong to him anymore. It's a different person. So you have to let it all go because it's just constantly understanding that we are literally evolving and changing into these brand new people, and that these people that we've become, I mean, God, can you imagine the difference between me and the 2006 me? I mean, God, you know?
I will even say the me and the December me 2019, the September 2019 me, like I literally feel like every month I'm shifting. You know what I mean? But to your point, night and day compared to where I was maybe 5-10 years ago. But you guys will feel different almost like monthly when you're on this track of lightening up, like what Amelia said.
I mean, you're completely right, because the thing is the me in December compared to the me at the end of this March is going to be different, because by the end of this March, I will have my online program done. I will have put pen to paper and probably written down a couple of bars, and I probably would have gone to the studio just to say hello. And obviously, and my new friend that's just come back around, so my old friend that's just come back around, is a professional singer, but she never really got a break in the big industry, whereas I was really in the big industry and I never really did anything with it, you know? And
I want to touch on that because a lot of clients or followers may have mentioned they're worried. So you guys may get worried that you may feel lonely on this journey. You have to clear that out. So sometimes when you feel lonely, again, you go backwards and you seek maybe friends that you're comfort zone with, or some of you may get lonely in the physical sense and may, you know, want to hook up here and there. Try to clear that as much as you can. Again, work with someone to help you clear that, because that loneliness fades when you really are honing in on your passions, your purpose. Again, that's what's attracting in your twin flame. And also your soul tribe. Like to Amelia's point, a friend maybe she knew in the past is recircling back in because you're calling in your new level soul tribe. So you guys just be open to calling in new folks, because again, you have to make room for them by clearing out the old, if that makes sense.
Incidentally, that new old friend has had to basically clear out everybody, because I'm like literally I can't have any of that toxicity around me, you know. So her making that, in the end, I just was like, pick a side, hun. You're doing light or you're doing dark. And if you want to do light, you're lucky enough you got one of the lightest friends ever around. But if you're going to do dark, I can't do it. Like, I'm not doing it. I refuse. Point blank. That's it.
And also one last thing to touch on that, because again, we had a question, was you guys, if you are feeling lonely, I, for one, like before meeting my twin flame or after, I could not even see myself with other guys. After meeting my twin flame, I could not even like look at or touch or be around any other guy. Like, he's it for me, like for the past 3 years kind of thing. So if you're feeling that, like, I need satisfaction. I'm going to get a little rated R. You guys, like 5D sex is like, no, like, I'm sorry, this may get a little crazy to the newbie folks, but like connect with your twin flame in the 5D if you're not physically with them, because I will tell you, like, the 5D sexual experience is amazing, just as good as it like could be in 3D. So if you're feeling the urge to like, I need someone outside of me to like make me feel whole, that is also another block that you need to clear, because for some people it may be like, well, I just need to have someone in my life, or I just need to have you know, sex with someone else because I need something. So that's actually something you need to heal, because like for me it wasn't that, maybe it was I need